absolute best takes from the 2025 draft was being extremely high on Hornets rookie Knueppel. And specifically, I said that outside of the top two guys, Flag and Harper, who Flag has been up and down, Harper injured, I thought Kahn was the most NBA-ready rookie, and my God, is he good already. 32 points against the Bucks in this game, and we're going to break it all down. Even the misses, which there weren't a ton of. It was an efficient 32 as well, but Kahn is going to get blocked. He's 6'5" without shoes at times, late in the clock right here. Kyle Kuzma is a pretty big and athletic defender, and he shuts down Knueppel. But if you're excited to see the many, many, many awesome clips on offense and on defense, and just talk about Knueppel, would really appreciate a like, comment, subscribe on the video and on the channel. Really helps tell the YouTube algorithm that you're enjoying the content. And even on some of these misses from Kahn, you can see part of what makes him special, and it's just how he processes the floor as a 19, 20-year-old dude, where he drives on AJ Green right here, kicks it out to Sion James. And a lot of young players, after they pass the ball, don't really know what to do. But Kahn is immediately going to ghost out to the perimeter, create a wide open shot for himself. And Sion James, his college teammate, of course, knows Knueppel's tendencies, knows that he's a smart player who's going to make life easy on himself and his teammates. And I think Kahn's burst was very underrated as a prospect. He was a much better athlete than he got credit for. And AJ Green is a very good on-ball defender. Gets him with a quick crossover, and that's all he needs. He doesn't have a crazy amount of separation, but Kahn, in the end, picks up the ball early, just like uses his shoulders and his big frame to kind of wall AJ Green off, and all he needed was that quick advantage to get to the rim. Kahn isn't crazy strong yet. He's definitely getting there, and he's not crazy vertically athletic. That's the main athletic limitation, I'd say, but he is quick, and Kahn can blow by players, especially when it's not just a straight isolation situation, where it's something like he's coming off of a gut action, which is just a term for like a condensed pistol back screen into handoff. Kahn has Bobby Portis on a switch right here. Portis isn't in great position, and you can see how low Kahn gets. I love this camera angle specifically for showing how much like leverage and being low to the ground matters. Like, what is Bobby going to do now that Knueppel is below, like at his waist level, basically? There's no chance there. Kahn gets to the rim and finishes. I kind of wish there was like an option to have that camera angle for the full game. I don't want it to be the main camera angle, but like all 22, it would be cool to have that angle, because I do think we miss a lot in basketball analysis, at least people who are watching from regular computers without having the kind of angles. And Knueppel, I am confident in calling one of the most valuable screeners in the league already. He's not like a bruising pick setter, but he is so good at slipping out, and especially he's teammates with a guy like LaMelo Ball. He has the gravity to command blitzes and double teams, and Kahn's just going to float that ball in off the little screen. He's a dynamic advantage extender threat. He can create them himself too, right? Like, he's pretty good at advantage creating. He's not the best at it, but man, when he can play off of LaMelo, or we've seen it, with Cooper Flag in college, but even then, I think he played a lot of point guard in college, and LaMelo is the first player who's like consistently drawing double teams that Knueppel's playing with. And we see maybe the very next possession, or a soon possession after that last clip, go right back to the well. This time Kahn hits Sion James for the corner three, and it's just the processing speed, decision making are very rare for a rookie. Immediately slips to the rim. This time he takes a dribble. Last time he shot that floater, right? Bobby's stepping up, and then Cole knows he has to slide down to help the helper if Bobby steps up. That's just help principles. Kahn is instantly reading out the play though, kicks to Sion James, who drills the corner three. Like, it is these kind of plays I don't think get enough shine from like the casual NBA fans or like media, but like mainstream ESPN type media, but man, they're important and really indicative of how good Kahn is. Aside from the really impressive pull-up jumper, look at the stable base right there, hopping off of 2 feet. Kahn is so quick making decisions off the catch. He never catches the ball and holds it. Like, he's always going dribble, pass, shoot. Like, he really embodies like 0.5 basketball that we talk about with like the Pacers and a lot of good stuff that teams are doing with just how they're quickly moving the ball and making great decisions. I think Knueppel really exemplifies that. Again, just simple stuff. There's a defender closing in on him in transition, helping off the strong side corner, and he just passes to Trey Mann for a wide open three. Nothing that's rocket science, but it is good stuff. Khan all the way to the rim there. He definitely uses his frame really, really well. Here you see instead of Khan coming to set the ghost, it's Khan getting a handoff. So slightly different coverage for Kyle Kuzma, who's behind. And then Khan, while he doesn't really have much of an advantage here, he's able to use his frame and just the quickness he has to get around Ryan Rollins and finish right there. So he's shown, I think, pretty clearly so far that he has enough quickness to at least get by occasionally. And this was a phenomenal play by Kuzma, who's kind of balling on defense to begin this year, which is fun, I guess. But perfect accuracy. I mean, this is placed exactly in the spot for, and you're throwing rolls up to Pat. Is that really Pat Connaughton going to get the roll? Yeah, that is Pat Connaughton going up on the roll. Like, that is a dime. Actually, he probably could have lofted it a little bit closer to here. But still, that was a really nice play by Kuzma to run back and break up the lob. But Khan is a phenomenal passer. He hasn't gotten as many like pick and roll chances as he did in college, obviously, but his decision making is just as good as a playmaker. Again, noticed a couple themes we're talking about. Khan as a screener. Milwaukee shows two with the ball. He ghosts out to the weak wing, and then Khan never holding the ball. Immediately makes a decision, slashes the bucket, spin move, notices Gary Trent's hand in the cookie jar, draws a foul. Like, it's veteran stuff that we're seeing from a true freshman rookie in his first couple games. Another beautiful quick release spot up three over Giannis, who is kind of playing off him. And yeah, you cannot play off Knueppel. Just a ridiculous amount of great offense generated from these simple ghost screens. And yeah, the Bucks just, like, it's tough. There's nobody on the floor who can guard LaMelo at the point of attack, so you kind of have to show a second body. But you can't do that, especially when Khan is flaring out, but also when the Hornets have really nice intentional flat spacing, which makes it way harder for Cole Anthony or Bobby Portis to help here. And the Bucks aren't a crazy, like, there are some teams like Miami, Oklahoma City does this, who will just completely ignore the corner and help all the way off and step up on Khan. And maybe that's what the Bucks should have been doing at this point, considering his ghost screening was absolutely roasting them. But yeah, they just kept leaving Khan in the open space, and he kept oh my goodness, look at that dunk. He kept punishing them. Here we go with some pick and roll stuff and great little 3-man action right here. He burns Miles Turner, and yeah, he's just too quick for like slowish footed centers and drop, which I'm not sure a lot of people thought he would be, at least as a rookie. But yeah, Khan's foot speed and quickness have very quickly translated to the NBA. Great contest right there. I think I might have accidentally put that clip in early. We're going to talk about defense in a second, but just really nice contest right there by Khan. He's definitely not as impactful defensively as he is offensively, but look at what play the Hornets are setting up. Down 3, a minute 30. They guarded a little better, but Khan is a special shooter right here. This time you see it's like more of a switch where AJ is trying to scram back to Khan, but it's just not enough, man. Knueppel is going to hop off 2 feet. He's going to fire from 3, and he's going to make a lot of these shots. He is an incredibly impressive player. They go right back to the well on the next possession, needing another bucket, and it almost works. But once again, you see how good the look is generally. I think AJ probably does a little better job contesting that, but that's an open shot for Knueppel that I trust him taking pretty much every time. And it's just really impressive that this is the place we've landed for rookie, and wide open off the rebound, clutch shot, 126-129. He ties the game right there. Send it into overtime, where sadly the Hornets didn't have LaMelo and ended up losing, so we couldn't see that 2-man game really flourish anymore. And Khan had to do more on the ball in overtime, and you can definitely see his limitations as like an on-ball creator against bigger, more athletic defenders, where he can't necessarily get a step and has to rely on like a tough inside hand scoop. That's definitely a makeable shot for Knueppel. Like, it's not a terrible outcome or anything, but he is going to have some issues finishing, but again, we see the great little ghost screen slip out to the wing. The Bucks were defending it better, and I think that's largely because they had AJ Green in, who was maybe their best perimeter defender outside of Ryan Rollins. And then Knueppel gets ripped at the end of the game, ends up ripping Gary Harris back, and nice quick transition now to his defensive play throughout the game, which, like I said, definitely not the level of how he played on offense, extremely high bar, but Kahn's defense is quite solid, I think, and you can see it from possessions like this where he's just digging and stunting and not making life easy on the handler. He's going to kind of stunt down, which potentially forces Rollins to pass. He gets back to AJ Green, closes out without fouling, and ends up making that shot a little more difficult than it would have been otherwise. The same kind of feel and processing and decision making really does show up on the defensive end, but the same limitations too, right? The size, the strength, the lateral quickness, I think especially, he's not the greatest. And Kuzma was able to drive him back a little bit right there, ends up drawing a foul. Here we have Kahn guarding out a dribble handoff, and he just strips the ball right there. Like, he's got great, quick hands. He didn't really get steals or blocks in college at all, but I do think he was a much better defensive prospect than those numbers generally suggested. Like I said, certainly not stellar or anything, but he's pretty big, 6'5", sturdy player. I think he's going to be strong. And look at the Bucks trying the same little guard screen. This time they roll it, and Kahn does a good job initially sticking with Ryan Rollins right here. He does a good job turning and chasing, cutting him off, beating him to the spot, but that's just a better offense. The bump euro by Rollins against a very quick, athletic player that, Kahn's going to learn, and he's going to get better at playing these kind of players. But I've been pretty impressed with his screen defense this year, honestly, relative to what I thought at times. Like, AJ Green hits this shot, but Kahn is sticking right around him. He keeps his Kahn. I'm very happy with the way that Kahn has been playing so far, even on both ends of the floor. Like, the defense is a work in progress, no doubt, but when you have to stick him on, weaker players that aren't necessarily primaries, he can make some plays. And look at him digging the ball out of Giannis's hand right there. Looks like Giannis takes a second to lose it, but I'm giving Kahn credit for at least partially ripping the ball out from Giannis Antetokounmpo and then going the other way with the ball, and I believe he ends up making the layup right there. So Kahn against the Bucks, I do think is just like the best version of what he can be right now, where it's the nuclear off-ball movement and shooting, creating open shots via ghost screens, and then he can just capitalize with his great scoring and good enough handling and amazing touch and decision making. And defensively, I think he's gonna be enough to not be picked on and hunted on in the playoffs. And considering I do think Knueppel, I said it before the draft, can develop into a true offensive star, not something I'd be crazy worried about. But let me know what you think of the video, and I really appreciate everyone who watched. Like, comment, and subscribe again, and let me know what other kind of content you want throughout the rest of the NBA season. So thanks y'all again for watching, and have a great day.